Everyone, welcome. Here we are at, I don't know what number this is, so
6 or 7.
Mel can just
Mel,
you're going
just
to edit
put the
that
number.
in. Yeah, just
It's
write
been
the
like so many episodes we can't keep track.
We can't count past 4, so this is above our pay grade. So here we are for our holiday edition of the podcast.
Yeah, very festive.
Super festive.
Liza's wearing a turtleneck under a hoodie in celebration.
It's real cold in Southern California. It's like 65 degrees and I am freezing. I don't even know what that means, but I figured it.
Yeah, it's 65 degrees.
Is it? But is that the temperature outside?
It was like 58 to 63, I think, this morning.
Okay, so nailed it. It's real cold. And
It's not, I mean, for the rest of the world, it's not cold. But for Southern California, it's cold.
I do recognize that fact. But for us, it is very cold. Hence my turtleneck below a sweater.
In my trench coat.
Fashion.
Trench coat, dog pillow. Yeah, so anyways, I digress. So holiday version of the podcast, we thought that we would kind of do a year in review because we realized, like, the other day Rachel was talking to someone and said something, and then like halfway through the conversation she realized that it wasn't September and it was definitely the end of the year and there weren't like 3 more months.
Yeah, just because the year's gone by so fast that in my mind I was like, oh, we definitely have a significant amount of time before the end of the year to hit these goals. Like, I wasn't even thinking about dates. It just felt like it wasn't the end of the year.
Yeah.
And that's just such an indication of how fast-paced our world is.
Yeah, so Rachel was thinking we were going to like far outseed our goals because we had many, many months. And we're like, no, I mean, hit it, but like, hit it and did better. But like, we don't have 3 more months to then just
Apparently
totally
not.
rocket ship the goals. So anyways, Ruby, do
Yes.
you want to do the honors of starting the timer for the last time in 2019?
Yes. Crazy. The new decade. All right, 20 minutes.
20 minutes,
Ready?
here we go.
Let go.
All right, so we're going to kick it off with a little game of trivia.
Should I like hit the table if I have the answer?
Yes, yeah, let's do that. Okay, I didn't think that far ahead. I just had to think.
But how does she hit the table? Oh, it's just you and me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
because
okay.
I have the
Answers.
answers.
Okay.
I had to write them down, otherwise I'd say the wrong thing too.
Good thing I'm not trivia game host.
Yeah. All right, so when did we launch on Fresh Direct?
April.
No. The end of May.
Dang it. Okay.
Yeah, end of May. Okay. When did we officially roll out in Ralph's, King Soopers, and Fred Meyer?
It was supposed to be August. No, it was supposed to be September. It was actually August, but then there was a bunch of miscommunication, and it was 6 months later that we were fully rolled out. So that was August, September, October, November, December, January, February.
Yeah, it was February. Yeah.
Okay.
We got a little surprised. I got put on shelf a little bit early with
Yeah.
that one, which never a bad thing, except for when you don't know.
And we can't tell you.
Yeah. I can't tell you. Okay, when did we move into this office?
Before the summer.
That's not fair. That's not a fair answer.
End of March.
If you
Yeah.
can slap the table. End of March.
No to both. We only moved in here in the beginning of May.
No way.
Yeah.
When did we go to
Who
Denver?
fact checked these answers?
I looked at my email.
I'm looking at Instagram because I put it on my Instagram.
All right. Go
It
for
was definitely before then.
I mean,
It really feels like we've been in this office for over a
Oh,
year.
wow. Damn, you're right. It was May 20th.
don't at me.
Dang.
Yeah, so we've literally only been here for 6 months in this office. Which,
It feels like we've been here forever.
Yeah.
The amount of meetings, the amount of... Holy crap. Okay.
All right.
a lot of things have happened. Okay. Last question in trivia, and then we'll move on to the next game. When did we start the Rebrand conversations? Because that was a huge thing that we did this year. But when did we start talking about it and actually making moves?
Oh, God.
We started the conversation when we were still in the old office. I do remember having the conversation in that tiny room. So I'm going to say March. I'm just saying everything happened in March.
Apparently for Ruby, 2019 was only March. Nothing else happened. March was the big month for us.
Because, okay, so March was Expo West. And then I feel like coming out of Expo West, we had a lot of ideas about, like, how we could do better.
Okay, Rach.
I just know we were like working on this in a crazy tight timeline, going back and forth forever, but from like one end of the spectrum to the other, and I just have no clue what time period it was. I remember the whole thing very clearly. I don't know what season it was. I don't know like what was happening.
It was April.
Wow. What were we rushing for?
Because we needed
It took so long.
We wanted it to hit for summer.
For summer, yeah.
Yeah, we wanted it to hit for summer, and we wanted to do like our full due diligence. Then
April.
Then we got quoted way too much money.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Way too much money.
I remember getting that proposal and us being all like,
yeah. So let's talk about the rebrand real quick, because I feel like that was a big moment for us in 2019. And I think one of the biggest things that we did we did so many big things, but it was one of the many big things that we did this year. And it was insane. And so we started talking about it, like Ruby said, after Expo West was kind of when we had, which happens for everyone that doesn't know, it's like the homecoming of the food industry. Everybody goes. It's in the
Fashion Week.
Yeah, it's like Fashion Week, but in the Anaheim Convention Center, and no one's wearing designer clothes.
There are a few ladies in heels who regret it like 2 hours in.
We like to wear nice sneakers.
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
Yeah. It's more like trade show chic is the vibe. So, in the Anaheim Convention Center.
In Anaheim.
There is a wonderful hotel with a Disney step and repeat in the lobby if you need some good photos.
Yeah, hit up Liza's Insta.
I have a photo of Liza that might need to go on our Instagram in front of that step and repeat.
We'll insert it here so everyone knows what that step and repeat looks like, because it's the step and repeat to end all step and repeats. But, so after that we kind of realized, like, hey, our packaging's good, but I think a lot of people are getting confused. Let's clean this up. Let's make this more simple. Let's communicate more effectively. So then, what do you guys even remember what we did after that? What was like our first step?
The biggest thing was putting our faces on the heat seals.
Yes. But you skipped like
hey,
4 months of
the first step we cut
I
up.
am very
up
much
our
vision
packaging.
30,000 foot.
Remember we cut up our pints and like played with.
We're going like back to basics.
Yeah, that was the first
Christina
thing we did.
Aguilera? Was that CD?
back to
Is it?
No,
Back to
I'm too old.
Know that.
someone?
What? Dirty X Tina? You were definitely around.
Definitely you were the proper age when like I was
I was too young for Dirty X Tina.
Yeah. I don't know what back to basics is.
Alright, we only have like 15
Alright,
minutes.
anyways.
Yes, we could do another episode on this. But, so like, first off, we went to a branding agency who we love, we respect, they're amazing, their team's fantastic, and we want to do the rebrand. But being a startup, we felt that we could do this without spending the huge price tag of a rebrand. Because a traditional rebrand can cost you anywhere from like $50,000 to $100,000. Like, it is not cheap. And when you're a company that is making money, but like you really need every dollar counts, and we don't just get to frivolously spend. I'm not sure if we'll ever get to the point where we just frivolously spend, because I think we're all very conscious of what a dollar is, but we wanted to make sure we were getting the most for our money, and we just believed that we could try this one out on our own, which maybe call that crazy, but we did it, and I think we did a really good job with it. But from there, we literally, like Ruby was saying, cut up our pints and essentially made it like a jigsaw puzzle of what should go where, what should not be there.
Yeah, really trying to like highlight what would be the key attributes so that if people spend, because people really do spend 1 second looking, and you have to grab them with those key points of attention. So we're like, what needs to go and what needs to just be front and center.
Yeah, and then we have the added challenge of there's a frosted glass door. It's only not frosty if someone hasn't opened it in a couple minutes. So we really needed to stand out, and so it was like months of us kind of playing on Photoshop, figuring out what we want to look like. Oh, it turned off. Hold on, brief pause for the camera to go back.
All right, we're back.
All right, camera's back.
And I just want to clarify, it wasn't us playing on Photoshop. It was Liza being a Photoshop wizard and being like, do you like this? Do you like this? Do you like this? It was a lot of like, Liza is very skilled and very humble about how skilled she is at designing things. And she was able to like, she would come in and be like, look at this. And me and Rachel would be like, no. And she'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
And then turn it around and try something else. And it was a lot of trial and error with Liza doing a lot of the work.
It was just moving around like every bit and piece of information on our pints and really working together to figure out what can we simplify, what can we take away, what do we need to say, how can we say that in less or fewer words, and just how can anyone walking by this pint who only has a second, who knows also exactly what they want and exactly what they've come to that aisle to buy, how do we for a second make them just go, huh, what's that? And read our pint really quick, was what we were constantly asking ourselves. And you know, with that, it wasn't only us. We did our market research the scrappy way.
Oh yeah.
Instagram stories.
Yeah.
Like on our personal Instagram stories.
Just survey the shit out of everyone.
Yeah, we like totally spammed everyone on our personal Instagram stories with just different questions. And then, okay, so all of you said that, you know, it was more important for you to have less sugar called out on the front than, you know, paleo. So like what is it about sugar? Like, what do you want to know about the sugar? Do you want to know if it's natural? Do you want to know how much there is? We just asked every single question we could possibly think of and used that to kind of guide what was going to be on that front real estate of our packaging.
My favorite moment of the rebrand was sitting in the office really late with Liza one night, and Asai was like our problem child because we couldn't find the right color, and Rachel was at a meeting, and me and Liza were like looking at Pantone colors like all night, and then finally we found the right color for Asai.
The right purple
for Asai, and it was like the clouds parted and like angels were singing and like
it really was, because also purple is my least favorite color on planet Earth. I'm sorry to anyone who loves purple, but I find it relatively offensive, and I don't hate the purple of our side. And like Ruby found that purple and I just wanted to like hug Ruby forever. So I was like, how did you find the one non-offensive purple?
It was, I don't know, but it was like truly.
That was quite the saga.
Rachel came in the office the next morning and we were like, we found the purple!
And for a while we were like looking at blues and we were looking at like other colors, and then finally I don't even know how we came to what we got to, but it was hours just looking at different, and also hours of me being like, try this one, and then Liza like not realizing how many like layers and how difficult Photoshop is. I'm just like, oh, just swap this one out. And Liza's like, all right, you.
I love the rebrand, but we also probably have like 5 minutes left.
That's true. Yeah, okay. We have a lot of. So anyways, the rebrand was insane. Great part of, maybe we should do a whole podcast episode on like how we went through our rebrand and what our tactics were. But
our faces are across America as a result of the rebrand. We're all on the heat seals, so I hope when all of you pull the lid off your pint of Snow Monkey, one of us is staring right back at you, lovingly, hoping you enjoy the next bite.
That was a great too, because I was in JFK and I got a call from Rachel and Liza, and they were like, all right, we've got a crazy idea and we just need you to roll with it. And I was like boarding my flight and I was like, okay, what? And they're like, how would you feel?
No, I think it was, would you quit if?
True. Would you quit if? You put your face on all the pints, and I was like, let's do it.
I think you said, I'm flying. I need to think about it.
Probably.
Just like digest it.
Probably.
And Rachel and I were like, sounds like a yes.
And I was also like, we need to go to the printer right now. So like, I need a yes or no.
Yeah. Like we're like, tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow pick. So that was also a huge moment, was putting our faces on every single pint. I mean, and then also really kind of, I think that was our first not our first, but our largest foray into kind of starting this conversation about really why we're here doing what we're doing beyond just creating a better for you ice cream. And I think that was really exciting for us as a team. I mean, anyone correct me if it...
No, dude, it's still kind of surreal. I'll go to the grocery store and I'll be like, oh, I know that hand sticking out from under the lid.
Yeah, we like know whose wrist is whose. Ruby has to go to sales meetings.
I was at a sales meeting last week and literally all 5 pints were my face. So that made me feel very narcissistic.
Yeah. And I think some people might have the first thought of like, why on earth would you do this? But again, like it is part of that conversation of women empowerment, and that there are so many different types of females that you can look up to. If you want to look up to a female who is, you know, a model or an influencer or one of these like more traditional roles that women have had over time, that's totally cool and that's totally respectable. But if that doesn't relate to you and you want to be a businesswoman, or you want to be an astronaut, or you want to be like any of these other roles that have been predominantly an athlete, predominantly male based, then you can be, and there are really cool women out there doing it. And you know, maybe you don't think we're cool, but at least it starts the conversation. You can go find someone you think is cool.
Yeah.
But and I think also that's something that we're really excited to roll into 2020 with and expand upon.
Oh yeah, big time, but can't talk about it.
Yeah, can't. Quick tease, 2020, buy your pints, and yeah, sit back and get ready for a pretty good show. What else in 2019 sticks out to you guys? What were like some of your favorite moments? And also the moments where you feel like you learned the most.
I mean, my favorite funny moment is we had like a marathon week of traveling, and Liza went to the airport first because Rachel and I were continuing to a different meeting, and Liza had to go to a different meeting, but we were all in North Carolina or South Carolina or something, and Rachel and I stopped at REI, and I literally just took a nap on the cot while Rachel shopped. And I think it was that just like in that moment I was
like in the display as you walked in for like family tent suggestions.
Yeah.
And there's just Ruby with her roller like PTFO.
Yep, I'm in like business casual. got my suitcase. Yeah.
And that was a week where so we started in North Carolina on Monday. But we flew there Sunday night because we took the red eye. Took a nap Monday morning, went to meetings, went to the airport. Rachel and I flew to the Midwest.
I went to the Northeast.
Yeah, Ruby went to the Northeast. First you went to like Rhode Island.
Yep, I went to Rhode Island and then New York. And then I back up with them in South Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like Tuesday, Wednesday. Rachel and I drove through 2 states in the Midwest.
We were in Chicago also.
Oh yeah, we went to Chicago because we did a quick night in Chicago. On the way there, we tried to find cows.
Yes.
And the toll booth woman gave us very specific directions on how to find cows. Never found cows.
Did trespass a lot of people's property.
It did show up on some farms unwelcome. Then met back up with Ruby on Thursday in South Carolina.
In South Carolina.
Had another meeting.
And then
Thursday I went to Colorado.
And I went to Cincinnati.
And I went home. I left them there.
Yeah, the crazy thing is like we have so many weeks like that.
Yeah.
And it just time flies.
Yeah.
It does, and I think those are also the moments where we realize how much like we can accomplish even in like total chaos. If you're just like before all of those situations, like we anticipated the chaos, but we were so focused and like had our goals set out of what at each specific meeting we needed to do, and like as long as those 3 to 5 things were done like that week in that meeting and whatever, that was a success. And that's how we measure it, as opposed to like, because of course there were other things that like didn't get done that week or got held up or whatever, but like I think that's something we all do really well, is that in that chaos and that just like, again, just chaos, there's no other word for it, we're able to really keep our heads down and just like perform even sleep deprived and needing to take a nap. Or,
Yeah, I took a nap at REI, not during the meeting.
I would say my favorite thing about this year happened throughout the year, and it was that, I mean, I go to a lot of networking things and conferences and dinners and whatnot, and when I meet people and say like, oh, like they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm the founder and CEO of Snow Monkey, and they're like, oh my god, I know Snow Monkey, or I've tried it, or my sister loves your like passion fruit flavor, or I saw it at my gym, I've been wanting to buy it. There's so much awareness about our brand that is organic, because I'm so used to, in the past, us knowing that no one knew what Snow Monkey was unless they were friends of ours or they followed us on Instagram. And it's really nuts to see how like organically like the brand is starting to like spread and have like legs of its own. It's just we're like here in our office, we're like pushing things, we're doing things, we don't get time to like really sit in that and understand like how big we've actually gotten.
Because this was the first year at like Expo West and Fancy and things like that probably, not everyone, but probably 50% of the people that came by maybe hadn't tried it but had seen us on Instagram or had read about us, or they had had some interaction with the brand, whereas every other time we've been there it was like, no, what's this? Tell me about it.
Definitely.
I think, this was definitely, and also I think another, going off of that thing that I think I'm really proud of for our team having done this year and like really impressed is I feel like all of us came out of our shelves. Like the first year that we were doing this, I think that it's uncharted waters for all of us. We ask a lot of good questions and we surround ourselves with the right people, but at the end of the day, this is still the first time we're doing something like this. But I think that all of us this year, the questions we're asking, the way we go into meetings, we prep for meetings, just our overall awareness and savvy behind what we're doing has changed so much. And there's our 20 minutes.
Keep going, that was heartfelt.
But I think that like I think that all of us have just, we've really like gotten into our groove now and figured out what we're doing, and that makes me so excited for 2020 because we're gonna absolutely crush it and it's gonna be the most insane thing ever.
The biggest aha moment for me is like, for a while I would in sales meetings, or in not even sales meetings, but just like talking to people, I'd be like, yeah, we're 3 women and none of us have CPG background. And after a meeting once, Rachel pulled me aside and she was like, hey, you don't have to say that anymore. Like, you do have CPG background now. Like, yes, you didn't before, but like we've all learned a lot, and like you have the tools now, and like step into that. And so I'm like, now I feel like I've stepped into that. I'm like, you know what, I do know what I'm talking about. I don't know all the answers, but like I know what I'm talking about generally.
Yeah, I think like all of us before, I mean, at least for me, I felt like sometimes I felt the need to explain our situation more, be like, 3 young women, never done this, out of college. But now I've really learned to take it like, we are absolutely 3 young women. We started this in college. We're killing it. We're so awesome. And like, not necessarily like feeling the need to apologize or explain for our lack of knowledge, being like, this is how we've done it. This is how we're going to do it. If it's different than what you're used to, that sounds like a you problem, because this is what we're doing.
And I think like having that reputation and that confidence, and now we understand exactly what we're really good at and what we should leave to the pros. We've onboarded amazing outsourced partners this year. And that's really a testament to what the industry thinks of us, because those partners would not give us the time of day if they didn't think we were the future of ice cream.
Exactly.
So that's huge.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, we're way over timer. I guess it's still December 2019.
Okay, but quickly, what is your thing that you're looking most forward to in 2020?
I can't talk about it. That's why it's so exciting. Just our campaign.
Okay. That, and I think newness of things. There's some new coming in the pipeline.
Everyone,
I like it.
There's gonna be new stuff.
I don't want to say what it is. I mean, take a wild guess, but like, new.
Yeah, I feel you. Both of those things, and expanded distribution.
Ooh.
Like, I think this year is going to be the year that you can go down the street and get Snow Monkey wherever you are
Within the United States.
within the United States.
Yeah.
To all our listeners in Mother Russia.
That one fan in Denmark.
Sorry,
We don't know who you are, but we did see you on the geo-tracker. And we are sorry. But you can come on vacation here anytime you want, and we will give you a pint.
Yes. Yes.
Cool.
Cool.
All right, well, happy
Thanks, guys.
2019, everyone, and hope you are...
Happy 2020.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Well, I was saying, like, happy
Yeah.
last couple days, and then I hope that your first day of 2020 is productive and not too hungover.
If it is, eat Snow Monkey.
If it is.
Yeah, and if it's not, eat Snow Monkey.
Yeah. All right, and on that note, follow at Eat Snow Monkey. Yeah, shout us out, give us reviews too. We were told to be more shameless in this, so I'm trying to be less shameless. Yeah.
Follow all of us.
Follow all of us. Leave us a 5-star review because
Like.
that's what this worth.
Yes, like, comment, share.
Yeah, all the things.
Amen.
All right, bye guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks so much for listening. If you like what you heard, make sure to subscribe to the podcast and leave us a review. Also, make sure to follow us on Instagram at EatSnowMonkey. Monkey Business is brought to you by the Snow Monkey Kingdom and produced by Autumn Williams. Our theme song is brought to you by Alex English.